Hey folks, this is Nick Borrego from ConvergeAudio.com. I'm here to talk to you about the top 5 things I learned at Global Game Jam as a music and audio person. Global Game Jam is a highly caffeine-infused, sleepless weekend where game developers of all types and talents get together to form small teams and create a fully functional video game by a certain deadline. And how I fit into the mix with all these awesome people will be the first item on my list. Channeling some of the greats that have inspired my work throughout the years was my primary focus for Adelaide's Global Game Jam, as I found out that I was actually one out of 2 composers in the entire roster. So along with Josh Monroe, that meant that we had 2 known sound people, which also meant we had a lot of teams to talk to and a lot of ground to cover. A week before the jam kicked off, my primary team got together to get us ready for the theme that would be assigned, which ended up being Waves. And so once we had our official theme assigned to us, we decided to do some storyboarding and some brainstorming to find out where our interests lie, what would be the most effective way to convey what inspires us as artists, and the genre that we decided on was sci-fi. And being a composer, I wanted to make sure that I nailed exactly the sci-fi sound they're after, so I asked them, do you want John Williams Star Wars orchestral stuff, or would you like synthesizer-driven Blade Runner type sci-fi? They chose Blade Runner. You might actually be pretty limited on desk space, as I was, because there's a lot of people involved, which is actually really cool. But what this also led to is the ease of use of lugging stuff around to capture sound design, which led me to working with these guys on their VR project, which is basically you are in a zone that has no visuals until you strike it with a certain object, which then provides visuals with the sound waves reflecting off of the surface. Really cool project. So basically, less is more when it comes to equipment that you have to lug around. You want to have the focus on creating the coolest potential creative project rather than lugging equipment. This one's a tricky one because there are some really great sounding royalty-free tracks out there. You can create a project and slap one of these babies on there and it sounds great. But it's up to you as a composer or sound designer to be able to have that conversation with the developer so they can know that they have a custom-tailored soundtrack that suits their game to the exact creative vision that they have in mind. So that all comes down to conversation. You may get lucky like I did and have a little bit of time to kill. So instead of doing this with my camera, making footage and, zooming in and out in this really horrible way, I would recommend doing what I did and going and meeting other team members and finding out how the projects are going. There's a chance they could use a little bit of audio. This project called Wacky Climber from Harrison's team ended up giving me a little bit of extra work. So at the end of the day, it's about the people that you meet and the projects that you can work on, the way that you can help somebody's creative vision come into life. And that's all about how you work with people and how you show them that you're into this just like they are, so that your passion and their passion can come to life. And Global Game Jam is really great for this because it puts everybody in one facility and says, here we go, we're going to make something awesome happen. So I hope you enjoyed this list. It's the 5 things that I learned, the top 5 things that I could think of that really stuck out to me as points that I'll definitely take with me to the next game jam and the next production that I'm involved in, because I think it's just very important to keep these few things in mind. So if you happen to like this video, be sure to give it a like or comment or subscribe. I'm Nick from Converge Audio. Have a good one.